We recently partnered with the World Wildlife Fund here in the US, and together we did our first basin health report card in the Orinoco River in Colombia. And it's a pretty impressive river. I think it's the second biggest river by flow in the world. It comes from the Andes, it starts in the Andes and moves its way down through the grasslands of Colombia into Venezuela and then discharges into the Atlantic Ocean. Well, my name's Simon Costanzo and I work as a science integrator at the University of Maryland Centre for Environmental Science. And my role is primarily to work with stakeholders and partners, facilitating workshops and helping them develop river basin health report cards. A river basin report card is a product that we've developed over a number of years now. So we try to put a large emphasis at the beginning of a report card on stakeholder mapping and making sure that we have the correct stakeholders in the room. And by correct, I mean well represented by a range of different stakeholders that depend on the river, that manage the river, that govern the river. And we establish what their values and goals are for that river basin. And together we'll come up with those basin values and what is threatening those values, and then we assign scores and report card grades. And the reason we do that is because most people around the world are familiar with report cards, they get them at school and so forth, so there is a benefit to using those because people are aware of them. They're aware of what an A, B, C, D and F is. And for me, this was probably one of the nicer systems that I've been able to work in because a lot of it was relatively untouched. So it provided a really nice opportunity for us to set a baseline now for what the conditions are before development takes place, and that's likely to happen now because the industry is very much poised to move into that region to extract oil and gas reserves. There's a lot of forestry and plantation that are going on in there. So we were lucky to get in when we did. I mean, the peace treaty was signed while we were there, and so we now have a really nice baseline of conditions so that any changes moving forward can be compared to what we've assessed. And so subsequently, yeah, it did receive a relatively good score. There is a transition though, and what's one of the major findings is that most of the population is in the actual Andes, and so a lot of the pressure has been in the cities to the west, and as you move across the watershed basin towards the Venezuelan border, conditions dramatically improve. One of the exciting things about this report card and what sets it apart from different report cards that we've done in the past is that with this new partnership with the World Wildlife Fund, we very much trained the local Colombian World Wildlife Fund team to facilitate the workshops with the stakeholders, which is typically something we would do. They've held 3 more workshops down there since the report cards come out with the same stakeholders, talking about different management actions moving forward based on the results of the report card. So in many ways we're being able to identify what is our best bang for our buck in terms of management dollars or restoration dollars. And so that's an exciting element that's coming out of this partnership with the World Wildlife Fund.